Hey, Julian. What time are you coming home today? Hurry up and get here so you can make dinner for us all. We're hungry and waiting. What are you talking about, Mom? I am still at work. There is no way I can leave now to go make you all dinner. Besides, it is only noon. Dinner is not going to be until much later anyways. You really are a terrible son. You know that. Just a good-for-nothing bum. I mean, you are 25 years old and still have no sense of responsibility. You really should try and be more like your little brother, Mark. Mom, Mark is still in college and has never had to hold down a job. What could he possibly teach me? That's right. He is in college. Unlike you, who only went to a trade school. You should be doing more for your family. I literally give you guys some of my paycheck every single month. You know what I call that, mister? Rent. Quit trying to act so high and mighty when all you ever give us is the bare minimum. You know that we are just letting you live here. This isn't some hotel that you own and can stay at whenever you want. It is not like I like living at home all that much either. But the location is convenient because it is closer to work. And besides, Dad was the one who asked me to move in and contribute a bit with my earnings. You two really didn't give me any other choice but to move in. I mean, if I am being honest, most of my earnings are going towards you guys. At this rate, I'll never have enough money to be able to move out and live on my own. I am sick and tired of all your excuses, Julian. You have got to learn to take responsibility for yourself. You are the oldest brother and you need to start acting like it. The reason you don't have any money is because you never studied and are terrible at saving. And even though your father and I are kind enough to let you live here, you don't even bother helping with the housework. Why are you even alive? Mom, how can you say something like that to your own son? My son? Please. I only need one son, and his name is Mark. All you are is just a failure and a mistake. I don't want you in my life anymore. Please, Mom. You shouldn't say things like that. Don't you even care about how that makes me feel? You expect me to believe that a brainless little worm like you has feelings? Honestly. How did you get to be so stupid in the first place? Huh, Julian? You aren't good at anything, and all you do is take up space at home. That's not true. I give you guys so much of what I earn. Sure, I may not be as smart as Mark. Even I know that. But that doesn't mean I'm incapable of learning anything. I mean, Mark is already 20, but all he ever does is study. I don't think he has a single friend. I'm worried about him, Mom. What? Your genius little brother doesn't need a numbskull like you to worry about him. He is going to be just fine on his own. Besides, it is no wonder he hasn't found anyone to talk to when his intellect is leagues above everyone else. He operates on a different level. I don't even think he needs friends. He is meant for much bigger and greater things than any of us can even imagine. I see. And you don't think that that is a kind of cold way to regard your own child? What is that supposed to mean? Are you trying to insult Mark now? What do you even know about him? Nothing! You moron! Gah, you really piss me off. I want you out. Out? You mean, like, to move out? But won't you two have trouble with your finances if I'm not there to help? Who needs you anyways? I'll talk to your dad and convince him. But I never want you to set another foot in the house again. Do you understand me? I'll gather your things and throw them in the lawn for you to pick up. What? You can't be serious. I am. And I do mean everything. So only come back to take your things and then leave right away. I don't even want to see your face. If you stay here any longer, then your stupid will probably just rub off on Mark. Mom, do you even know what you are saying? How can you be so cruel to your own son? All right, if you want me to leave, that's fine. But I can't just move out today. That's too soon. Enough! I don't want to hear it anymore. I can't believe this. Well, you better, because you are out of here. We all agree that none of us want you here anymore. So grab your things and never come back. There is nothing left for you. Nobody wants you here. You really are the worst, Mom. But fine. If that's how you want it, then you'll never have to hear from me ever again. Good. And not just me. You are not to contact anyone from this family either. Well, fine. Then you can tell them all never to contact me again. And from this day on, you are no longer my son. We are nothing to each other. Got it? Julian, send us some money right away. Excuse me? Mom, is that you? What are you talking about? I told you all those years ago that you are no longer my son. And if you think that after 5 years of never even bothering to check on us is going to change that, then you are sorely mistaken. Wow. Really? That is really what you have to say to me? As I recall, you were the one who said that you never wanted to talk to me ever again first. Then you tossed all my things into the lawn and kicked me out. I don't care how you remember. I know the facts. You really don't, apparently, but whatever. And what do you mean by your earlier message? I mean, I need you to send us money. That shouldn't be that hard to figure out. Then again, you were always an idiot. I doubt you are even making that much right now. But send us at least something. After all, you were the one who abandoned this family. Wait a second. Are we family or aren't we? You need to keep your story straight. You keep saying I abandoned you, but you were the ones who threw me out in the first place. And now you have the gall to message me asking for money? But this is really serious. We are in a really bad way. And just what do you mean by that? I just mean that there is a lot going wrong over here and you need to help us. Tell me what is going on first. I want to know. Why should I have to explain anything to an idiot like you? Why did you even bother reaching out to an idiot like me in the first place? Especially to beg for money of all things. Stop playing your little semantic word games, okay? If you must know, Mark is in quite a bit of debt and lately we have all gone into debt trying to help. So now we need you to help all of us by sending us money. What? You mean you all have debt? Enough questions! Just cough up the money to help your little brother. Quit being so useless and send $3,000 right now. Yeah, I think I will pass. What do you mean? I mean that 5 years ago, you threw me out of this family and we agreed never to speak to each other again. And yet here you are coming to talk to me. I tried meeting with some lawyers and they explained there is no real legal method to completely keep you away from me. He said the best thing to do is just ignore anything that you might send me. So, I guess I will just block you now. What are you talking about? Are you really going to abandon your family for a second time? No. What are you talking about? You were the one who said that I was no longer your son or part of your family anymore. And all because I was worried about my little brother. But you two never listened to me and always treated me like dirt. Well, how is Mark? Is he a shut-in recluse just like I was worried he might end up all those years ago? Well, he doesn't have a job, if that is what you're asking. But he is getting ready to have one. What does getting ready to have a job even mean? I just mean that he is still preparing for his big, important future. He just isn't ready yet. He is like a battery that is charging to its full potential. What even is that? What do you mean? You have babied Mark for far too long, and now he can't even act as a functioning adult. You've raised him to be completely helpless. I mean, he's already 25 years old, right? But I bet he still doesn't have a single friend and spends all day at home. Huh? Well, he's just working hard on something on his laptop all day. But I know that it is going to pay off any day now, and then we'll all be rich. So we just need to pay back these loans, and then we'll have it made. And just what makes you think that paying off your debts will solve all of your problems? Mark may be good at studying, but is that really what you think it means to be smart? And who are you to say something like that? You don't even have a good job or anything like that. Actually, I'm using the education I got from my trade school to, get this, work in my trade. And now I am supervising a branch office company overseas. Wait, you're doing what? After you threw me out of the house, I went and tried to find another job and had to use all of the skills I had gotten from school to make it work. Of course, I was never good at studying in the traditional sense, but my trade school equipped me with lots of practical skills. In fact, since we last spoke, I've gotten married, had kids, and I'm living a really peaceful life abroad. Are you serious? You're married. You have kids? My grandkids. I don't really think that you can call them your grandkids. After all, we aren't family anymore. Well, when do you think you're coming home? Home? And just where do you mean by that? To our house, of course. When are you going to come back and introduce your father and I to our grandchildren? That is never, ever going to happen. I have explained everything to my wife, and she is more than content to tell people that I don't really have any family. After all, it's true in a way, isn't it? What are you talking about, Julian? We're your family. How can you say that? And are you really working overseas? Well, that is just incredible! I hear that overseas posts usually get paid pretty well, don't they? They do, in fact. Thank you for asking. But that really shouldn't concern you, since you are never going to see a penny of that money. Oh, come on, son. Don't be like that. We need to come together as a family and overcome this adversity together. It is what families do. Don't you want to help your brother? Remember how worried you were for him? And he talks so highly of you all the time. Honest. That's great, but I don't buy any of that. And like I said, I don't even think of us as family anyways. So why don't you all keep suffering together as a family? Please, can't you just send us even a little bit of money? And maybe bring your children over so we can finally meet our grandchildren too. No. No, no, no. I am never going to let my children meet you for as long as I can help it. In fact, I will make sure that this is the last time that we talk. Ever. How can you be so cruel? How can you say such things to me? I am your mother. Not the way I see it, you aren't. All you've ever done is compare me to Mark, over and over again. You never once accepted me for who I was. Well, now I'm free and I never want to have any of you back in my life ever again. Okay. Very well. I understand. I'm sorry. I was wrong to treat you that way for so long. I apologize. So, please, just come back home to us, Julian. Maybe we can even all live together again. You can bring your wife and kids and it will be fun. Just like it used to be. It was never fun for me. And there is no way that I am going to expose my real family to awful people like you. And I certainly have no intention to get myself or my family wrapped up in all the debt that you three have accumulated over the years. Why do you have to be so cruel right now? I apologized, didn't I? Isn't that enough? Please, can't you find it in your heart to change your mind? It's not like there was ever a moment when we never loved you as our own son. Let's just all be a family again and have things go back to the way they were when we were happy. It is so clear what you are trying to do right now. Literally, the first thing you asked me for was money, and that is still all you want out of me. Especially now that you know how much my life has improved since leaving you all behind. No! It isn't like that at all. You've got it all wrong. Just come back home. Your mother is begging you. What mother? I've had enough of this. I said that I am never going to be coming, and that is final. If you keep messaging me after this, I will sue for harassment. Sue me? Sue your own mom? Don't you think that is taking things too far? All I want to do is see my son after all these years. Is that so wrong? You don't want to see me. You just want my money. And this sad attempt at getting it so obviously is pathetic. You want me to help so that you can use me to dig your way out of the hole that you all have dug for yourselves by babying Mark. Did you really think that I was going to fall for this? I've told you so many times already that I never want anything to do with any of you again. Goodbye, Patricia. After that, Julian's mom was completely shocked by the whiplash of finding out her estranged son was successful and that she had grandchildren, only to have it driven home none of them would ever be a part of her life. Mark only plunged further into debt and dragged his parents down with him until they were left with no other choice but to finally kick Mark out of the house. Of course, even so, Julian still had no intention of helping any of them. Instead, he chose to focus on his happy life and loving family from the safety of a whole new country. Kate, have you sent the money yet? Why, hello to you too, Deborah. What money are we talking about here? Don't make me ask for it again, Kate. You know damn well what I'm talking about. I told you. $10,000 for marrying my son. Deborah, sorry, but I honestly thought that was a joke. Please don't tell me that you actually meant for me to pay you money so that I can marry your son. A joke? I don't do jokes, Kate. I warned you. No money and you're in trouble. But you really want me to pay you money to marry your son? Are you having fun repeating yourself like a stupid old parrot? Which part of that didn't you understand? But you do realize that what you're demanding is completely unreasonable, right? Who asks for money from their son's fiancé like that? I'm pretty sure that this is some type of fraud you're committing, Deborah. Are you telling me that you can't? Or that you won't send the money to me, Kate? That's not the point. This is crossing the line, Deborah. Please stop demanding money from me. Whether you like it or not, this is how we do things in this family. You want our things, you pay for them. Isn't that how the world works? You better pay up or my son's going to be nothing but a friend to you. You'd be lucky if he's even that. This is crazy. It's a simple trade-off. Consider it a business deal. Or are you too poor? Is that why you can't pay up, Kate? No, I'm not lacking in funds, thank you very much. A business deal, huh? Me marrying your son is a business deal. Is that what you call it? His father and I spent thousands of dollars raising him. How much do you think we spent on his education, food, necessities, and whatnot? And you think we can hand him over to you for free? Raising him was like an investment. What kind of investment would it be without the returns? Wow. I'm just shocked to hear this. Is that what you truly think of your own son? Has James heard this from you? This is shocking, Deborah. It's just a matter of perspective, Kate. My son means the world to me. He's gold to me. He's the most coveted stock in the market. Think of it like an asset. I can't just give away the biggest asset I own for free, can I? Besides, if you marry him, I'll be your mother-in-law. Now, it's not a good idea to start off on a bad note with me now, is it? So why not just listen to me and pay that money and all will be settled? Don't you agree? Take this as an order from me to you. Your first one of many to come. An order? From you? No way. No way. This is insane. You do want to marry James, don't you? Don't you know that this is how you play the game? I'm his mother, and I get to choose the conditions for giving my son away. Pay the damn $10K and I'll settle. No, that's a crazy demand and I won't agree to that. Not for you and not even for James. Oh, really now? Not even for James? I thought you loved him. He works his blood, sweat, and tears for you every day. And he'll continue to do so, to support you as your future husband. And you won't even pay a dime to his mother to help her out. Is that what you call fair, Kate? Excuse me, but I have a job too. I have a decent job where they pay me enough for the both of us to get by. So I'm not exactly relying on his income or anything. He knows that too. Well then, you better keep working so that you can support your husband-to-be as well as your mother-in-law-to-be as well. No, you're talking nonsense now. This doesn't make any sense. Does James even know about this? Does he know that you're asking me for $10K? What does he say about all of this? Like I told you earlier, he says he works hard day and night for you. All for you, Kate. So don't you think he deserves to have his mother treated better than this? Excuse me? He really said that? Well, yes, that's what he told me. Then I think there's been a huge mistake here. Because the last time I spoke to him, it was me who pays the rent and the energy bills for the house. It's me who even pays for his phone bills. Oh, no. You don't get it, do you? Lies don't work with me, you see. I see right through them. Go ahead and ask James yourself, then. No need for that. I know my boy doesn't lie to his mother. He's a good boy. He always has been. I don't particularly enjoy wasting my time here now, Kate. I need your word. Tell me when you're planning on sending that money to my account. No, Deborah. I mean it. Do you want me to speak to your parents, Kate? I suppose they can understand how threats work more than you do, Threats? You really think you can threaten people? Let alone my parents? Also that you can get some money into your pockets? I'd stop right there if I were you. Because this sounds like it's going to get really ugly. Well, if you just shut your mouth and be the obedient little girl you're supposed to be, then we wouldn't be here right now. Why don't you just be a good girl and pay up? No. I think you're the one who needs to find your morals and have a bit of integrity and decency here. Think about what you're asking me as my mother-in-law. Huh. I'm not your mother-in-law just yet. Not until you pay up. So I won't have you calling me that. Right, then I guess I will never be calling you that then, Deborah. I will not be calling you my mother-in-law. I will never pay you to marry your son. That's all I have to say here. How dare you insult me like that? Do you want me to get my lawyer? Is that what you want? Jeez, I can't keep up with you. In fact, I don't want to be a part of this anymore. I need to talk to James about this. I'm sure he can understand. Kate, before you go, let me make a deal with you. I'll give you 3 months for you to pay the $10K. If I don't get that money over the next 3 months, you will no longer be seeing my son, James. Have I made that very clear to you? 3 months for me to pay up or break up with James? Well, Just wow. You don't even realize what you're saying anymore, do you? Take it or leave it, Kate. The choice is yours. I need to talk to James. Oh, no need for that. He says that's fine by him. Excuse me? I told you, my boy is a good boy. He listens to his mother a lot more than you think. He agrees with me on this. He will always be on my side. Oh, really now? Okay. I understand then. I'll give this some more thought and get back to you. I'm looking forward to your final decision, Kate. Don't let me down. Kate! How long are you going to keep this up for? When are you going to send me that money? Deborah? Hi. What is it? What do you mean, what is it? You know damn well what I'm talking about. It's been more than 3 months now. I've been waiting for your money. Where the heck is it? I've sent you my bank details and all the information you need. You just need to send it. So get on with it and stop making me wait. Well, sure, you sent me your bank details. I honestly don't know why, seeing as I've told you 100 times that I won't be sending you a single dollar. I don't think you should have kept your hopes up, Deborah. Because I think you did that for nothing. What? How dare you? We talked about this. Or what? Are you prepared to break up with my James then? Does he know that this is how much he means to you? Clearly not worth anything to you. Let's hear it then. Can you calm down a bit here, please, Deborah? I've lost my patience with you now. I don't have time or the patience for this anymore. I'll give you an extension. Extension? Yes, that's right. Until the end of the day today. You have until then to pay me, or the deal is off the table. You hear me? Well, I'd hate to break it to you, but I'm married already. What? What did you just say to me? Oh, I forgot to add the part where I meant to say that I broke up with your son, James. And then, not long after that, I met an amazing man. And I'm married to him now. He's my husband. Would you like to see the ring on my finger? I can send you a photo if you want. What the? When did that happen? Are you telling me you broke up with James? Isn't that what I just texted you? You sound like a parrot repeating yourself now. Do you remember saying that to me once before? Hush! I was just confirming what you said, because this is ridiculous. What are you talking about? Why am I hearing this now? James hasn't even told me. Well, it's true. We broke up because of you. Because of me? Well, yes. I couldn't stand the idea of having you as my mother-in-law. I couldn't imagine living the rest of my life having to deal with you and your crazy ways. That would be throwing myself into some kind of hellhole. And to be honest, James was a bit of a mama's boy too. That turned me off as well. I also got to know more about him, and I just decided none of it was worth it in the end. He changed, and he wasn't the same guy I knew when we first met. So I broke it off with him. And then soon after, I met a wonderful man who I'm now proud to call my husband. This isn't happening. What happened to James then? I thought you would have spoken to him about this already. Well, if you didn't know, he moved out of the apartment we were living in. He wasn't paying the rent anyway, so we decided he should be the one moving out. So he did. He used to stop by every other day just to convince me to take him back, actually. I was so close to reporting him and filing a restraining order against him. Report him? For what? For stalking. You see, I haven't told you, but he's done plenty of things to me since we broke up. And while we were together, too, for that matter. Hacking into my social media accounts, stealing cash from my wallet, creeping up on me in public, and a lot more. But I'll spare you the details. None of it changes the fact that I've had so many sleepless nights all 'cause of your stupid son. So if it comes to it, I was going to file a restraining order to do something about it. But when I warned him about that, he stopped. What the? You're lying! Why would I lie about all of this? There's nothing in it for me, is there? Well, anyway, I'm sure he'll eventually get in touch with you to ask you to move back in with you. I heard he's staying at a motel nearby for the time being. I think he thinks we can still get back together. But like I told both you and him, I'm married to someone else now. So I'm sure he'll give up on that idea soon enough. So he really hasn't been paying the rent all this time? Is that what you're concerned about? Well, I guess you do love your money, don't you? Yes, I've been paying the rent all this time. Me. In fact, I've always paid it. He only paid for the first month. What? I didn't know that. Well, as they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. He loves to live his life like it's a gambling game. Just like you. What do you mean? Well, the reason why you kept nagging me to pay you the money was because you had some debts to clear off from your gambling addiction, isn't it? What? How do you know about that? Who told you about that? Well, never mind that. I knew about your addiction from a while ago anyway. I just didn't expect you to go around calling my parents to actually threaten them and blackmail them either. My parents really enjoyed that, by the way. Enjoyed what? Being blackmailed by you. I was being sarcastic, of course. Thanks to that, it was like a huge wake-up call for me, really. A wake-up call? What do you mean by that? While James and I were together, I paid for everything that James wanted and needed. I provided for him. You provided for him? He told me that he provided for you. You're lying again. No, I am afraid not. When we first met, sure, he was working full-time at his sales job. Everything was great back then. But then, out of the blue, he came to me saying he wanted to pursue his dream. His dream? Yep, of becoming a guitarist and a songwriter. A what? Is this a joke? Nope, it's all true. So then he quit that sales job and started playing his guitar on the streets. On the streets? Yep, just like those street musicians you see in the subways. He has his guitar case open for people to throw in whatever spare change they have in their pockets. James is not a street musician. I don't understand. This is crazy. Well, I didn't get it either. I still don't. I'm no expert, but I don't exactly get moved or touched by his performance or anything. I don't have a clue as to why he suddenly had a change of heart with his career either. But it is what it is, isn't it? So, that's what happened at the time. So, my son is unemployed right now. Is that what you're telling me? I'm not sure about that. He was working part-time the last time I spoke to him, though. But it didn't change the fact that I was out there paying for everything while he was pursuing his dreams, since I was the one with the full-time job. Then I got so sick and tired of it. He wouldn't listen to me. He just wanted to live off of playing his guitar. That was his life. What? James, I don't believe what I'm hearing. Don't worry, his part-time work isn't too bad. He's going out doing some kind of road work overnight or something. But he used to have a decent job with a stable income. He was doing so well at that company. He was financially stable. What the heck happened to him? Yep. I don't know what happened either there. Where is he now? Do you know where he is? No idea. I moved out of that place, though. My husband and I moved to a completely new place, far from that old apartment to get away from him. He really was becoming a stalker. So I spoke to my lawyer and he just advised me to move somewhere he won't be able to find me. So that's exactly what I did. A stalker? A lawyer? Stop this. This is all too much. Oh, I'm sorry. Was I going too fast? Well, let me slow down for you. By the way, just so you should know, James seemed really pissed off at you. Me? Why? Well, you did ruin his engagement to me, didn't you? I mean, I'm nothing but grateful for the blessing in disguise. But for him? Well, I guess he's spiteful about the fact that he's missing out on what could have been with me. Big time. So, you mean, you think he'll come back to my house being all mad and vengeful? You don't suppose he'll get violent towards me or anything, do you? Well. I guess you knew about his violent streak as well. Another reason I added to the list of things I hate about him. What? You're not saying. Really? Did he really? Yeah, and not just once. Oh, and not to add salt to the wound, but my parents will be calling your husband soon enough. What? Why would they call my husband? Well, just so that we're all on the same page here. After all, he's your family, or shall I say, for your sake, another one of your assets, right? We just want to make sure he knows about your dealings. No, not my husband. He doesn't have to be involved. He doesn't know anything. Oh? Well, why have you decided to keep secrets from your family, Deborah? That's not good, is it? No. Don't you dare tell my husband about this. Which part? The part about you having a gambling addiction or needing to pay off your debts? Or how you tried to blackmail me? Or threatened my parents? No. Shut up, you! Shut up! All you had to do was pay up and everything would have been fine. None of this would have happened. Once I paid off the debt, I was going to support both you and James. That was the plan. I swear. Oh, Kate, what have you done? Why is this happening? No, you weren't. You weren't going to pay off the debt with my money, were you? You were going to spend it on yourself. No, I was going to pay it all off with your money. Ha! So you were going to use my money for it. You conniving old hag. You finally admitted it. No. You don't understand. Listen to me. Listen. Just don't let your parents speak to my husband, okay? Not a word of it. And don't make James come back here while he still wants to bite my head off. Please, Kate. You have to listen to me. I'll do anything. No. Deborah, I think you're the one who has to listen up here. I'm never going to see James again. Never. I'm never going to see you as well. No! What's going to happen to my debts then? What am I going to do? Well, let's see. How about getting a job? That shouldn't be too difficult, right? Either way, this is none of my business now. I was relying on you to pay me that money, Kate. Well then, you thought wrong, didn't you? I can't have my husband find out about this. Just promise that you won't tell him, okay? I need you to do that for me. That's all. You can forget about the rest, okay? It's so funny to see you weep and beg for my help like this. But it's too bad. I don't care about you anymore. You shot yourself in the foot, Deborah. This is your mess to clean up now. So deal with it. So the story goes like this. A debt-ridden mother-in-law blackmailed her son's fiancé, saying that if she wants her approval for the engagement, then she's got to pay her $10,000. Of course, Kate was more intelligent than that, and she would never fall for it. In fact, she wasn't falling for it, just like she was no longer falling in love with her fiancé. The more she spent time with him, the more she found out that he was just bad news and wanted nothing to do with him. It's a good thing that she was smart enough to call off the engagement herself. A few months later, the evil mother-in-law found out that not only was Kate already married to another man, but she wasn't going to pay her a dime. Her son was mad over this, and her husband was about to find out about her cheeky schemes to get money off of her. Now she's the one being blackmailed by her own husband, who's telling her to get a job or else he wants a divorce. Being given an ultimatum, she had no choice but to look for a job, and it's lucky that a local diner hired her. Good luck to her paying off the debts and getting out of trouble that she got herself into. Thanks for watching! If you liked this video, please like it and see you in the next one.